Hey y'all, welcome back. I finally finished my 11.2 TradeSkillMaster update for the new profile that I created here. I wanted to get it out sooner, but I've been dealing with a lot of stuff in real life recently, and it's just taken me longer than I wanted to get it out. So sorry about that. If you're new or finding this video randomly, welcome. I will be showing you how this profile works so you can use it quickly. But that being said, this won't be a full TSM guide video. But I do, however, have a full 10-part series for newbies guide for TradeSkillMaster on my channel if you want to learn the basics of TradeSkillMaster. So like making groups or posting operation, mailing operations, all that stuff, okay? Um, if you have any specific questions on how something uh, is done, it'll be in that series. I'll be putting a link in the description below for that series. Now for this video, I'll be going over quickly the changes I've made to this profile and how to edit it and the new posting operations I've created that should be more user-friendly to newbies for TradeSkillMaster. So let's get into what you need to know to make this profile work. Okay, so first off, let's go over the add-ons you're going to need for this to work. Okay, TradeSkillMaster, obviously, and then you're going to need the TradeSkillMaster desktop app helper. Okay, this is going to be an actual program you install on your desktop, which will then, once you set it up properly, we'll be able to constantly get data from the Blizzard API to get up-to-date marketing data for items on the auction house, okay, on your server, okay? It's very important that you have both of these installed, just so you make sure that you keep up-to-date pricings for things that you get, right? I'll put these links in the description, and the desktop app helper will be a link directly to the TradeSkillMaster website with a step-by-step instruction on how to set it up, okay? It's very easy to follow, and it's very easy to set up, so don't worry about that. You will have to make an account, but that's super easy to do, so... Okay, so to get my TradeSkillMaster profile for 11.2, all you gotta do is go over to my coffee page. You'll be able to grab it there for free, like all my other stuff that's on my coffee shop. You may want to take a look around. There may be something else you like there. I've got the War Within Herbalism and Mining routes. I just created a new Mista Pandaria profile for TradeSkillMaster for Classic that's going over really well with people. I do ask, though, that you consider supporting my work when you download these. They are free, but they do take a long time to create and test and then create the videos for them and everything. So if you could support my work, that would be greatly appreciated. It would really help me out and help me reach some goals that I'm trying to hit right now. So thank you very much. Okay, so you went over to my coffee page and you downloaded the text doc that contains the 11.2 TradeSkillMaster profile. And you have the posting string, or the import string, in that text doc, okay? So make sure you copy it, carefully, get it all there. You'll come into World of Warcraft, and then you want to open up TradeSkillMaster, okay? And you just come over here to your minimap, click on the little white cogwheel. The first thing you want to do is come over here to Settings, and then come down here to the Profile section, and then create a new profile. Okay, now, as you can see, I've created one for this video called YouTube Guide, okay? And what that means is when we go over to our group section, now you can name it whatever you want. ShyRai's The War Within 11.2 profile, or, The War Within TradeSkillMaster profile, whatever you want, okay? What you want to do is after you created that new profile, go over to the groups section here, and you'll see that it's completely blank, okay? Now to import my string, make sure you copied it correctly. Come over here to the top left-hand side, next to the search group section, and you'll see this little down arrow that says import group, okay? You'll click it, and then you'll see this import groups and operations window will pop up with a little box. You'll hit Control V, and you paste in that string that you copied from the text document, and then it will automatically import or show you what you will be importing my current profile, right? So then down here at the bottom, you'll be able to just click import, okay? And then you'll see that it basically popped up at the window. This is everything in the profile all the way. It's everything that I've added and updated and changed for the 11.2 patch. So that's pretty easy on how to install the profile. The second thing we're going to do here real quick is talk about what's changed. and we'll go over that really quickly. I've cleaned up the world BOEs and the world crafted BOE gear section to make it a little bit more compact, less spread out. I've been getting into thermatology recently with the alchemy profession, so I've added some ignore sections here for items that I find that are the best to convert in that little game. I've actually really enjoyed the alchemy thermatology flip thing. It's pretty fun, so you may want to look into it. But I made those little sections, and then of course down here at the bottom, I cleaned up the old world farming section. This profile is not just meant for the world within. So if you do old world farming, instance farming, material farming, and stuff like that, you will have a place to put all of those items that you get for for the old world stuff, for your pets, patterns, lock boxes, all of your ores and materials that you get, and your BOEs and stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure this was flexible enough to be able to use for old world as well. So. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about here real quick is going to be the operations and what I've changed with those. So we'll get into that in just a second. Okay, so let's get into the big change for this new profile that I created here. It's going to be the posting operations. Okay, now if you're new to posting operations, or new to this video, or if you have the old profile, my old profile was a really long posting operation, and it was a little bit complicated to edit. But so I recreated a new one that was more noob-friendly and way easier to edit for beginners in TradeSkillMaster. But I also wanted it to be competitive with the markets. I didn't want it to like sell things for too low or anything like that. So we're gonna go into this real quick because these I'm not joking, are like super easy to edit, okay? So first, we're going to go over here to the sections here under our auctioning operations here and talk real quick about these. You've got your BOEs, your materials, your crafted profession, patterns, pets, and special item operations, okay? Now, the one thing about these is that they're all priced differently, which is something TradeSkillMaster is like the golden goose about, We don't want to price everything the same. Right? Because our pets are going to sell for more than our materials. Our materials are going to sell more than our BOEs, right? So we want to make sure that we're posting these at competitive prices based on what we're selling, okay? So we're going to go over real quick just the BOEs and the pets operations because those are basically all you need to know how to edit, okay? Because the pets one's a little bit different, but the BOEs one will give you a general idea on how to edit something, right? So right down here in the posting price section, you can see that I have here is a min, max, and normal posting price here. Now these are all posting operations that I created here, and they're much smaller, much simpler to edit. So first off, right away, you can see that we have a max 1x1 vendor sell. Now that is a vendor sell protection, meaning that you will never sell an item on the auction house for less than 1.1 times its vendor value. Okay, I mean, that just makes common sense. You don't want to sell something on the auction house for less than you can vendor it for, right? So that's a little protection I added in there so that you never do that. The next thing is 25% AVG, DB region sale average, and DB market. Now those DB region and DB market are functions that we use for price sourcing. So we're basing our percentage of those price sourcings for our minimum price, okay? If that makes any sense. Sometimes it gets a little complicated, but it's pretty simple once you figure it out. So we don't want to send, like our minimum price here, I would say keep this here. Do not change it. And if you do change it, go up. Just increase this percentage up from like 25% to 35, 45%, 50%, Never go below 25% average, okay? Now the AVG that's what it means, average. So we're 25% average of the DB region sale average of DB market, okay? Now to change this little function, this is a modifier function for our valuing of the DB region and sale and DB market, right? Now there are three different versions of this modifier, okay? MIN, AVG, and MAX, okay? Which is min, average, and maximum, okay? So you can change this little function to be MIN, right? And that'll be 25% minimum of the DB region sale average and DB market. That's lowering it from the average, okay? So now we're 20%, 25% minimum, not 20% average. Okay, so we want to increase it. Like I said, never go below AVG or average by 20% on your minimum price. Okay, always go up. Now, your maximum and normal prices are going to be ones you're going to edit quite a bit, or if you want to edit or change, these are the ones you're going to want to go to right away. Now, let's talk about your maximum price real quick, because this is going to be kind of like your vendor cell protection. If someone comes in swinging and posts something up for a ridiculous amount of gold, let's say 100,000 gold, right? But your tooltip data and your market data says that there's no way it sells for that, right? Your maximum price could kick in and undercut that person by quite a bit. Now, this is a boon and a protection for you. This has happened maybe 7 times in the past couple years for me, where I've undercutted someone that was just posting something for a ridiculous value, and I undercut them by a lot, but it was still high priced, and someone came in and swooped in and bought mine instead. They thought maybe I was undercutting someone with a special item for a ton of gold, right? This can happen. I'm not saying it will for you, but it can happen where someone posts something for 100,000 gold, and you come in and you undercut them because they're way above your maximum, and they purchase your item instead. It happens a few times. This maximum price here is more of a protection, like your vendor cell protection, so that you never post anything for a ridiculous amount, okay? Now, to edit this, let's say 300% is too low for you. Well, you can bump it up to 500% here, right? But let's say you want to keep it at 300%, but you still want to lower your plateau, like your maximum, right? You can just come in here and change MAX to AVG, right? Super simple to edit. You don't got to really do much. I find 300% max is fine for BOEs. So down here in the normal price, which is one you're going to be posting your price at normally quite often, right? Now, this one you might want to edit in several ways. Like, okay, so let's say 115% is too low for your server. Let's go 150% of average. Well, let's say that's still too low for you. Well, you can raise it up to, instead of AVG, you can go MAX and change it to 150% maximum right here. That's how you edit these posting operations. Like I said, they're super noob friendly and they're really easy to edit. Okay. So we'll go over here real quick to our pets operation. And as you can see, it's the same kind of thing, but just without the vendor protection. We never want to vendor our pets. There's no reason to. But we also want to make sure we're posting these things for maximum value. We want to post them high, as high as we can. So that's why our minimum price here is max 50% average, 350% max, and then 150% max. So those, because we never want to sell our pets for cheap, right? And I want to touch base here real quick for the materials, because materials sell cross-region, right? But we always want to make sure we're selling them for the maximum value, right? We never want to undercut them. So our normal price here is 150% max, just standard. And then our maximum value is 500% max value standard. And we even raised our minimum price up to 35. Now, you could actually raise this up even more, to be honest. I think you should, but for me, I'm doing 35. But so we're never going to be posting our materials for cheap ever. Okay, we want to make sure we keep those competitive when we get those. Okay, but yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to editing these posting operations. You just come in here and change either the percentage, or you change the function from average to max, or if you want to lower it, you change it from max to average. Or if you want to just lower even more, you just change the percentage down to a little bit here. And you'll kind of find your happy place when it comes to posting items on the auction house for your server economy. But I find that my posting operations that I've had here, now I play on 5 different servers, they seem to be pretty flexible when it comes to different server economies. They tend to fluctuate accordingly to the current people that are posting. They undercut decently, and I've never really had a problem with having to adjust these posting prices. But if you do, that's how you that's how you change them. You just come in here and change those percentages or those functions before those. So, okay, so now that we taught you how to edit the posting operations, and if you do have questions, please ask in the comments below. I will get to you when I have time, or when I can. The other thing that I want to touch base real quick is mailing operations. Now, even with the import that I gave you, there is no way for me to, like you see with the auctioning operations, I was able to send those to you or with the profile. Mailing operations, however, are not able to be sent through the profile. Because one, I don't know your characters' names, I don't know what servers you're playing on, I don't know what your crafting profession characters are or anything like that, right? So there's no way for me to set up a default section or a group that you can just edit with mailing operations. It's impossible. So these are going to be something you need to create yourself. Okay, you need to create one for your bank tune. You need to create one for your rogue if you want to send your lockboxes to it. Or if you have a tune that you have to send all your cloth to, But don't worry, like I said, I have a full 10-part series dedicated to teaching you how to create or how to learn TradeSkillMaster. But the one section that I do have is called mailing operations specifically. So if you go to the video, I'll make sure I link it directly in the description below. But it is a perfect guide on how to create a mailing operation and how to attach it to a group and how to, micromanage it and all that stuff. So it's one of the things that I'm just not allowed to share with you guys. That's something you are personally gonna have to create. So. Well, I think that's going to bring this video to an end, to be honest. There's really not much more I can explain with this profile outside of what I have. You can get this profile, like I said, over on my Coffee page. I do ask that you consider supporting my work. This does take a lot of time and energy to create, and I do really appreciate all the support that I've been getting so far. It's really helped me out currently in real life, and I can't say I appreciate it so much. It means the world to me. You guys have no idea. So, and then thanks for watching, and until next time.